The old recording thing. Hey guys, John here, Carrot Studios, week 25, Game Maker Tutorials Live. We're going to be doing pathfinding using Game Maker's built-in MP grid system. So, the motion potential, I believe, is what it is. I guess it uses a variant of A-star pathfinding, and we're going to learn how to use that today. So, let's get a new project started. I think I already made something that I was going to work on the other day, but I couldn't get it working because I was tired, so we're going to have to name it Tutorial 25 Reel. And we'll just copy this in there. Okay. So, just add in our stuff real fast. How you doing, guys? What's going on? Room default. Just gotta set up the room so it all looks like my other tutorials. Keep that theme going. Backgrounds, blah blah blah. Okay. Did I not add the... Yeah, I didn't add the image. Okay. Object control, we'll put that in the settings, creation code, instance, create 00 object control. Alright. Control object, we draw some text. That can be found. Okay, I have to go here. Draw, set, color, see white. And change it back to black. Week 25. We got the FPS, okay. Let me just make sure that OBS is broadcasting at 25, yeah. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's get started. So we've got MP grid stuff. You can find that in the manual, probably movement. Yeah, motion planning. Okay, so these are the motion plannings. So the grids, yeah, A-star algorithm, okay. Got it. Alright, so this is what we're going to start with, MP grid create. I guess, I don't know if it's global, but I'm imagining it is. So, 0, 0. So that's the left top. The horizontal cells, which will be 32 just to start with. Vertical cells 32. Our cell width, it's usually the width of the sprites, since we're going to be doing sprite wall. Sprites like this, 32 by 32. Then our code's probably going to use these 32 by 32 cell width and cell height. You could change it to other things depending on the size of your sprites, but since we're using 32 by 32, it makes sense. Let's see, green, purple. And then duplicate that to be sprite player. Alright, and of course, I actually probably shouldn't center this because it's going to be on a grid. So, I usually do, but not today. It might make sense later. We'll see. Alright, and 32 for the cell height. And it says wrong number of arguments, probably because I put too many. 0, 0. H cells. 32, 32. It's going. Oh. Okay. So does this return anything? I don't think so. It returns index that must be used in all the other MP grid function calls. Okay. So this returns an ID of the MP grid that you're going to use for all the other MP functions. So these guys. Okay. I probably won't use this because that's dumb. We'll draw it ourselves. Oh, you can do a grid to a DS grid. That's cool. Can you do a DS grid to an MP grid? Probably not. No. I don't think you can. Okay. So this is what we want. We want the MP stuff. And you can avoid a specific object along the way. I don't know if we'll be using this, so I think we'll just use MP potential path. So MP potential step. Now what does this do? This function moves an instance toward a point, avoiding obstacles. I don't think we're going to do that. Maybe we will. Returns bool. This function does not move the instance, it sets a path only, and you must use the path functions for movement. Okay, I see. Okay. So it returns a path. Oh, okay, we could totally do this. Alright, let's do it. So, var, we'll just do global grid. That just sets up the actual grid that we're going to use for the pathfinding. So, we're going to create some walls. I'm going to actually... Yeah, I think I'm going to load an older project and use the dungeon generation for that. Just because it's really easy and it's simple and it generates tiny little dungeons that you can move around in. So let's open that. It'll be perfect for this. Tutorials, tutorial, old. That's none of these. It's definitely an old. I don't know which one it is, so I'm gonna go to my site real fast. Let's see, it's going to be roguelike movement that does it, so week 17. 17, open that baby up. We'll copy the code out of that. Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could turn a DS grid into an MP grid, but apparently you can't, so. Yeah, that's all we need. Okay, so we'll copy that in there. Good, good, good. Okay. Object wall, and then we're not going to have enemies, so. Actually, should we? No, I think I'll just do a player that moves to the exit. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So, not worried about that. Connect rooms with hallways. Yeah, here's to place some enemies. We don't want this. Okay. Place the player. Yes. Good, good, good. Okay. And then since we're not centering it, we're just going to get rid of that plus 16 stuff. We didn't center our sprites, so it's creating a multiple of 0, not a multiple of 16. Alright. And then we gotta delete the map. ds grid destroy map. Yeah. Now, because you can't load a DS grid into a MP grid, so you can't take a DS grid and turn it into the actual motion, the pathfinding grid. You have to do it your own way. So what I'm just going to do is, for every wall that gets created, it's just going to set that cell in the grid to unmovable. Like, avoid. You won't be able to walk through that cell in the grid wherever a wall is. So MP grid can you not MP grid add cell? Is that? Yeah, mark individual cells within the map as forbidden. Good. Okay, good. So 0, 0, perfect. Good. Works just like a DS grid. MP grid add cell. We're going to set the global MP grid, just to make more sense. Generate a quick room. Yeah, MP grid add cell, global MP grid. What? Why is it HV? Horizontal, vertical? Why is it not XY? That's so weird. Okay. Oh well. So we'll just do XX, YY. Simple as that. Finish off our brackets. And this is where we flag the MP grid cell as, I guess, forbidden, since that's what they call it. We'll just call it forbidden. Yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much how you set up the DS grid map. We put the player down. It's good. Alright. So now we just have to make these objects. So object player. Give him that player sprite. And then we'll make the wall. Oh, my mouse sensitivity is so high. That's why I keep going crazy with that. Object wall. Oh, now it feels too slow. Oh my god. Alright, so the wall doesn't have any code. Why did I just do that? I thought it was in the player. Alright, so the player, we're going to set that up just like any other top-down thing. Except now we're going to only allow movement based on the MP grid. So I'll make it so you can move by yourself, but if you hold a certain key, it'll move you towards the path end, the goal, for you automatically. So I guess what we'll do is we'll set up the goal first, just so I don't forget to do that later. Yeah, I'll just do it with the DS grid, just because it's simpler. Not place the player, this is going to be place the goal. So, global goal X equals XX, global goal Y equals YY. We'll copy this code because we're going to use it for a key event to reset the, I guess. Nah, we'll use the mouse to do that. Yeah, okay. So we'll just copy this. While DS grid equals 1. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then step, if mouse check button pressed, mouse button left, will if instance position, no, we'll use the check actually. So if MP grid check, or is it get cell? Yeah, get cell global MP grid. Var mx equals floor mouse x divided by 32. Cell size equals 32. Oh. Okay. MX, MY. If it has been occupied or the position being checked is out of the grid's bounds, then the function will return -1, otherwise it will return 0. So if it's -1, you can't move there, or else it's outside of the grid as well. Yes, so let's check if it's -1. If MP grid cell equals -1, so there is a wall there. Checks if there is a wall there. With instance position. Actually, we should check if it's there first. Var inst equals instance position. MX times cell size, because we're converting from grid coordinates to real world coordinates. Cell size. And then object wall. If instance exists. Inst. With instance destroy. MP grid set cell. You actually have to do, it's either clear cell or add cell. There's no setting of it, so that makes sense why you can't convert a DS grid into an MP grid. Still, I still think it should be a function, but oh well. Anyways, global MP grid. And then you got your height in the grid, or your horizontal position, which would be MX, MY. So now it's clearing it. Else, and we'll do the opposite. So if there is not a wall there, so it's an empty spot, we want to add a spot. We want to make that cell forbidden. So let me reword this. Checks if wall at mouse position is forbidden. Forbidden? Yeah. Checks if wall at mouse position is free. Change it to free. And here we'll change it forbidden. So you shall not pass if you go through here. If it's forbidden, you can't walk there. Let me just check something real fast. Okay. Man, I really wish I could do music, but the whole YouTube thing doesn't like it, so. So you're clearing the cell. actually for here we're going to be adding the cell. So we would be set cell, or is it add cell? Yeah, add cell. Var inst. So we're changing it to forbidden. We're actually adding the wall. So instance create mx times cell size, my times cell size, object wall. Okay, that should be it. Now we can add cells, and now we want to just be able to change the goal. So if mouse check button pressed, and here's the right button, global goal x equals mx, global goal y equals my, and we'll clamp this to the grid, the MP grid. So clamp 1. Oh wait, it's not. Yeah, you have to set the value first, and then the minimum, which would be 1, and then the maximum, which would be. Did I save the size? Yeah, map width and height. I'll change this to grid. And I'll change this to map height. Or no, grid height. Silly. And because I don't want to have the player referencing global variables every time it tries to move, I'm just going to make sure that the player on the create event does grid width equals object control grid width. Because referencing a global variable or referencing a variable that's not defined in the object that's calling it is actually slower. So calling this every step is slower than calling a local variable like this. Same thing with if you were doing global, this is slower than calling this. They may or may not have changed that from GameMaker 8.1 to Studio, but I'm pretty sure it's still slow. Not by much, it's not like a huge slowdown, but it's just an optimization tool. Tip. One weird trick. Programmers hate them. Now we're just gonna change the goal. So max would be grid width -2. Because if it was grid width -1, that would be the boundary, because we set the walls around the boundary to 1. So there's walls that border the grid so that you can't go outside the grid. So you want to do 1 less than that. Same thing over here. If it was 0, it'd be the wall that borders the grid. We go to 1, so it's inside that border of walls. So we'll do the same thing for this. My grid height -2. And that's it. But first I want to check if the cell is reachable. So if MP grid get cell, ID would be global MP grid MX MY equal to 0. Okay. And then here, the only thing I want to do is make sure that if MX is greater than 0, and, oh, you know, I can do it this. If point in rectangle MX, MY, 1, 1, grid width -2, grid height -2. And then put all of this inside of that. And we can only change cells that are inside of the boundary. Alright. Good, good, good. And I set up so that you could change the goal. Same thing for here. I want to do this boundary thing, so you can't put the goal outside of the map or on the boundary. Actually, you wouldn't need it, but let's just safeguard it. So if mouse position is in the grid's boundaries, if the cell is not forbidden, set the goal to the mouse position. Same thing here. Let me just copy this over. Okay, should be good. Find the cell position under the mouse. Okay, that should be it. Place goal. Toggle wall cells. Draw. We don't really need anything in there. That should be draw GUI actually. Alright. Creates the player. We can do that. Okay. So step event. First, I'm just gonna do this. If you change the goal, I want the player to update. So I'm gonna make a quick script. Script update path. So 0.0. Okay, so the player needs a path. So var path. Var points. DS list create. It's not path create, or is it path add? Oh my god. If they had some consistency in that, that'd be nice. You know, with the naming conventions. It's like path add, instance create. There's like so many different things. It's like instance destroy, DS grid delete, or something like that. It's all over the place. The update path will take the X position, Y position. Oh, we'll change it to X goal, Y goal. And then MP grid, I think it's MP grid path. There we go. Okay. Global MP grid path will be path. X start will be floor object player X divided by cell size. Floor object player Y divided by 32. X goal will be global X, global goal X, global goal Y. Allow diagonal? No, we're not going to do diagonals for here. So what, does this return anything? No, it just returns if the path can be, yeah, if the path succeeded in reaching the goal. So if MP grid, we'll do object player pathing equals true, else object player pathing equals false. Alright, and here we'll do this. For var I equals 0, I is less than path. Is there like a way to get all the points in the path? Yes, there is. Okay, cool. Alright. So we're going to have two different DS lists. So I guess we'll do path X var path Y equals DS list create. Path get, yeah, we just want to do get the number of points. Is there a way to get the number of points? Oh, that's in pixels. Path get number. I bet you that's it. Use the return return the number of points on a path. Perfect. All right. So path get number. You know what? I think since the path already has this laid out for you, I don't think we need to do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it like that. We're gonna keep it simple. So object player path equals path. We'll do temp path just to avoid confusion. Yeah, and then here we'll just delete the path. Path delete? Yeah. Unless that deletes only a single point. You can just remove a path from memory. Good. Path delete. Path. Does that have anything that I need to read? Okay, nothing that I need to know. Interesting. Alright, so check if we can reach our goal. Make a path if we can. And then here we'll just we reached our goal. Use the path. Couldn't reach goal. Delete path. Yeah, that looks simple enough. That should update it. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be done there. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, so script update path. We'll do that every time in the control object when we change the anything. If we change anything about the grid, we'll have to update it because that could make the goal reachable or unreachable. So excuse me. So if point rectangle, so we'll do script update path. We'll also make sure that we delete the path that already exists under the player's thing. So if path exists, please be a function. Yes. Object player path delete object player path. Okay, perfect. Script update path, and we have to do that for the same when we change the goal. So We'll do it here. Update the path. That should be it. That's the only times I really have to update the path. Also, when you reach the goal, no, you shouldn't have to. All right. So we need a path variable as well. Path equals -1. And then we need cell size equals object control cell size. Mainly, I should change this from a temp variable to a real variable that's kept across multiple frames. Cell size in pixels. Alright, cool. Path equals -1, and I think that's all we need to get started. No, pathing. That's what it was. Pathing equals false. Script. Pathing update. Oh. Script update path. Yeah, we should definitely place the player after we create the goal, because otherwise we get an error because the global variable goal x, goal y doesn't exist. So let's do that. And I don't actually want to do this in the player object. I feel like that could create some problems, so we'll do it here. Destroy the map. We're good. Good. Alright, step event. We're just going to try and move around with the spacebar. So if keyboard check vk space, if pathing, if path, no, we'll do that. We'll do yeah, we need to update so it's object player path position equals 0. And then object player path equals -1. Alright. Easy. Okay. So x equals lerp var point previous x. Yeah, point previous x equals d. No, it's not a ds. It's a path. Get number, and we'll use path position. No, that's definitely not it. Path get point x. That's what it is. Path position previous y, path position oh, you know what? I'm just gonna MP grid step. MP grid. Can I type MP grid? Is there no MP grid step? Whoa, what, am I drawing a blank or something? Oh, here we go. MP linear path. Right? This function computes a straight line path from the current instance position to the point specified. What? What's the difference between... Oh, it changes the variables. But what does this do? Calculates avoiding the specified... What? I want to move along the path. So I guess what I'll do is MP linear path. Alright, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make it really simple. Because I thought there was a function that existed that doesn't, I thought there was a function that moved you towards it along the path, but there isn't, I think. So I'm just going to make it myself. So we'll do var x1 equals path get point x, index path position in the path 0. No, path position. Same here, same here, same here. Y1, x2, y2. And we'll change this +1, +1. So yes, that looks good to me. Var dir equals point direction. We're going to use a little trick here to move yourself towards the point or the goal. So point direction x1, y1, x2, y2. Var speed equals 4. Now we'll do 6. X plus equals length, direction, x. Length would be the speed, direction would be the dir. Do the same for the y. And then if point distance x, y, x2, y2 is less than 6, or less than equal to 6, I should say. We'll do path position plus plus. If path position is equal to path get number, path position equals 0, path delete, pathing equals false, path equals -1. So we've reached our goal at this point. Reached the goal? No. Here would be if we reached our goal. Reach the next point on path. Okay, looks good to me. I think that's it. You really don't have to calculate this every step. I just want to make this very verbose and put it all in one spot. So find. Oh no, you don't even. You don't even need to do that. You could just do x, y. X2, xy, x2, y2. X2, literally not x2, the number, but x2, where we're trying to get to. Find the next point on the path. And that should be it. We should move towards the path there. I just want to have the player draw the path. So if pathing and path exists, path for var I equals 0, I is less than path number, path get number, I plus plus, draw circle, and we'll just set the color to something. Draw set color. You know what? I'll actually do this because I want to draw the goal too. So this will be our goal, and then this will be path point. So sprite goal. Just gonna draw a simple little guy here, like a little flag. Okay, easy flag, easy life. Simple goal. We're gonna not center it, and then we need a marker. So sprite path point. Again, we'll just do this. This one will be centered because it uses real world coordinates for it. So let me actually just draw a circle. Grid settings, that's what I want. 8 by 8. I know I actually can't see the grid. What is going on? There we go. Alright, that's a fine little path point. Center that, and then we'll just draw the points because I don't feel like drawing a different color. Draw sprite path point. 0 path get point x. The index would be path, position would be I, and same thing for the y. Yes. Cut through there, get that out of here. Alright, and then we just draw self. So we remember to draw our own player. Draw all points along pathfinding path. We gotta draw the goal. Draw sprite global goal x global goal y. Sprite goal 0. Alright, that should work. So we got the player control walls. We don't even need to do collisions with the walls because the path should move us around the walls for us. And we'll see how this goes. Unknown variable path. Script update path. So here we go. Object control, object player. I figured that would come up somewhere. Oh, this should actually be temp path. Yes, okay. And that should be temp path. Okay, got it. Alright, so nothing's happening. Oh, I think I'm drawing the actual, goal X and goal Y at the cell positions, and they should be at real world positions. So this should be times 32 and times 32. Let me make sure that the MP grid stuff is what I think it is. Yeah, the object player position, goal X, goal Y. To update the goal position. Okay, it is MX and MY. We're good. Should work. Path equals temp path. Yes. Good, good, good. Alright, I don't know why this wouldn't work. Okay, so I see the goal now. That's one step better. We're not moving towards the goal, which is a little odd. I'm not even seeing the goal path points. So let's make sure that this is working. Path add. This creates a path, right? You can create a path. Yes. Making sure it didn't add points to the path. MP grid path. With this function, you can create a path that will navigate from a start point to a finish point using the MP grid that you've previously defined. The blah blah blah. Yeah, let me just try path starting it. With object player, path start, path speed 6, and end action 0 absolute. Not sure. False. Okay, so the player definitely isn't getting the path correctly. Oh, am I? Now these are along the grid, right? The x coordinate of the new, starting x coordinate of the new path, finishing x coordinate of the new path. Okay. Really odd how that's not working. Global MP grid temp path, right? Yeah. X start, floor, floor. Man, this is really weird. Let me make sure I'm generating this right. Global MP grid XXYY. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that looks fine. It's looking for an open spot. This creates the player somewhere where it's open. It updates the path. I don't know what's wrong. Let's have the player. Let me make sure I can even change the walls in the level. Maybe there's something inherently wrong with this. Nope. I can toggle the walls. What the hell? This is really odd. It even sets the path position. What in the world is going on? Maybe? Object player path equals path add. Maybe that's the problem. I could see that being a problem for some reason. If that works, that's going to be really weird. Excuse me. Create event object control. Update path line 26. I've got an error. Oh, it's actually going through this. It's going into this. Returns true if it succeeded in returning a path. Fails. What the hell? So it's failing? It's failing to find. That is so weird. It's also creating a path. If path exists, object player path. No, it needs that path for this. Wow, this is weird. I'm so confused as to why this isn't working. It's using the grid coordinates, I'm almost certain. The X coordinate? This function, you can create a path that will navigate from a start point. Oh, in room coordinates. It does use room coordinates. Oh my lord. Okay, so we can just do this. Jeez, this might actually work. It does work. Oh my god. Alright. So let's make sure the player doesn't start the path in the beginning. But it does work. So you move towards the path if you hold space. I don't know why it's centered on there. It shouldn't be. I guess when the player hits the end of the path, I'm gonna make it randomize the path. Global path X. Global goal X. Script randomize goal. So we'll just have the goal get randomly placed on a place where it can be placed. So moving platforms working? No, I fell asleep really late last night after hanging out with some friends. Woke up late, didn't have time to work on it today, so I'm doing something else. I'm doing the motion pathing things from GameMaker, the movement and collisions, these guys, motion planning. Doing the MP grid functions. I was going over those. Global goal X. We'll just do this. Script randomize goal. Then here we're just going to go to the control object. Copy this and just change it so it uses the grid functions. So while MP grid get cell, yeah. Global MP grid XXYY is equal to 0 or equal to -1. It randomizes it again, and then it sets the goal to XY. Okay, perfect. Should work. How you doing, to Wave? What are you doing? Okay, so it didn't update the path when it hit the goal. Oh, because I didn't give it the new path. So when the... Yeah, that's all I needed. Okay. So when I hit the end, it's going to make a new one. Ta-da. And you'll follow that. I don't know why in the world it's putting... Alright, maybe I should center all of this. No, because then it'll give me issues when I actually try and move on the grid. Why is it putting it in the middle? That's really odd. Maybe I should... About to run out of power? Oh jeez. Found a charger. That's like the worst thing when you're like visiting people and you don't have your charger. Now you have to actually talk to people. Especially family, they just go on and on. But it looks like it's your parents, so it's not like grandparents or anything, so that's good. Some grandparents are probably cool to listen to, but not mine. It's always about mothballs and stuff. Yeah, why is the player going through the walls? I don't understand why it's doing it that way. Maybe the x2 should be minus 16. Minus 16. Yeah, let me try that. Oh, my ears itchy. Oh, you've got a charger. Oh, no, I actually went through the wall. That's great. I'm going to change the goal position to have plus 16 to each one. Update path. No, it's randomized goal that I want. Plus 16, plus 16. I don't know why it's going to want to do it like this, but whatever. Plus 16, plus 16. Always make the goal plus 16 apparently. Change the goal to be plus 16 here. No, wait a second. That's not right. Because this is grid coordinates. Oh my god, what is going on? I wonder if it takes the MP grid path goal. It does, okay. Plus 16. Plus 16. Alright, you only have to change it one place here. Hopefully. Let's see how this works. I believe this will work. I believe. Yes. Oh. Alright, let me make the view follow the player real quick. Follow the path. View. Vx equals x minus view with view divided by 2. View x view equals. Now we'll do it like this. Vx minus view x view. Same thing for the y. Then floor it as usual. Alright. Okay, so it still goes to the wall, and I'm not sure why. What? Maybe? Oh, maybe it has something to do with this. Update path. Object player X. It's not centered, right? The sprite is not centered, I'm almost certain. Yeah, it's not. Maybe this should be plus 16, and this should be plus 16 as well. Maybe the grid world coordinates use the center. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought it had to have been. It can't be anything else. Perfect. Alright, so now you just follow that path without ever hitting a wall. There's no collision detection. You can go right through a wall. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even know that the walls are there. All it knows is that there's a grid there. And it follows that grid. That's really cool. Okay, so if I do this... Yep, puts me right in there. And if I do this, it can't find it, so I can't go anywhere. If it does this, it puts me on track. Cool. Alright, that's what I wanted. I wish I knew the 16 thing before. I guess it places everything in the middle of the grid cell. So if you put the goal or the starting position at not the middle of the cell, at the end it'll or at the beginning it'll move it to that. It's so weird. But it works. It's working. You just have to remember that. And that's a nice little thing. So you can go. Wonder if I can make it a little maze and it'll still do it. I mean, it should. I don't know why it wouldn't. Cover that, cover that. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Alright, and you can also change it to use diagonals. So you could do update path true, and you should be able to clip through the walls diagonally a little bit. See you, Wave. See you, Peter. Yo, what's up, Liam? Alright, so now when you go through like a turn, you should be able to clip through the wall a little bit. Yeah. And you can do this, which I guess looks a little bit more natural than going in straight lines. All depends on your game. That's pretty much all I'm going to do this week. I think next week I'm going to try and get moving platforms done in an elegant way. I mean, it's easy to do them if you just write a million lines of code, but I want to try and get it in a clean way, so it's kind of just a couple lines of code and not a huge blob in different objects. So I'm going to try and get that working. I stream every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me on Twitch. I do a GameMaker tutorial every week, and you can donate if you want. That's on my Twitch page. That's on my home page. You can make your own requests. You can request. That's what all these tutorials are. They're requests from users on our GameMaker. They're mostly from there. You can make your own request. You can find the link on my site. I'll actually post it in the chat before I get off. And I stream sometimes just doing random programming, so you can watch that too. It's not always this. And you can find all of my past videos on my channel. So I'll post both those links in there. So share the playlist. I'm going to put that in the chat. And you can find where to make your own request here. It's just a little Google form. You can find where that's playing my live stream, and I'll have this uploaded on YouTube in a bit with the full source code. Free download, no ads, nothing like that. So I'll catch you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm out. See you later.